Bizarre Brain Comics. Oh, well, hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Try that again. Well, and this time, I'll take a look at this book here. This is X Factor, number 71 from 1991. But it's an all-new X Factor, said the all-new, all-different X Factor. A new beginning, a new team, their first adventure. $1 cover price, 1991. Ooh. And down here in the corner box there is commemorating 50 years of Marvel Comics, and that was 34 years ago. So now it's 81 years. No. 50 years. That was 30 years ago. It would be. 50 years of Captain America. That makes more sense. 1941 to 1991. Ah, geez. I couldn't read. Hey, for those who don't know, well, this was written by Peter David, who we just lost just a few months ago, and as one of the main reasons why I'm covering this, because of Peter David. I always liked this stuff. I never really read X Factor at that time, and he was also in the 90s had a long run on the Hulk, and I read very few of those either. But I know Peter David mostly from when he was doing Star Trek in the 80s, and 90s for DC, and also he wrote a lot of Star Trek novels that I have read, and he did a lot of adaptation stuff. He wrote the novelizations, I believe, of both novelizations of both of the solo Hulk movies. He wrote the novel, and I was first introduced to him when he did, in prose form, when he wrote the novelization of the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer novelization from the Disney movie, and he also wrote the novelization of the second Swamp Thing movie. Then has pencils by Larry Stroman, who I'm completely unfamiliar with inks by Al Milgrom, who goes way back and has a long history with both pencils and inks, and editorship at Marvel. So, an X Factor is a mutant superhero team appearing in Marvel Comics, which first appeared in X Factor number 1 in 1986, and it was created by Bob Layton and Jackson Gucci. The original team was composed of the 5 original members of the X-Men from 1963. They were initially posing as non-mutants who hunt mutants for hire. Then they would secretly recruit and train those mutants to use their powers. In this 90s iteration, the team was reformed with other characters, that's these guys, to work for the Pentagon to replace the Freedom Force. So they're basically going to be government military agents. Rather than your standard superhero team who just combats a variety of menaces on their own. These are actually endorsed and financed by Uncle Sam. Okay, so we'll start here. And I have some characters here. I don't know. I can't remember her name. This werewolf-like character. I cannot remember her name. I can't remember Greenie's name other than her real name is Lorna. Of course, I know Havoc. Never don't know. Prior to this, wouldn't have known anything about Strong Guy, but I have seen him in stuff over the years since then. And then Multiple Man, who was originally, I think, an X-Men villain, if I remember correctly. So let's go ahead and start right off. Cutting the mustard, kind of funny. So, and there's a Strong Guy, Guido. Excuse me, you got any Grey Poupon? Remember that was big in commercials in the way back when. Now the artwork is fine, some really nice artwork, draftsmanship, but the visual storytelling is lacking in several parts. But the page design is very visually interesting, even when there isn't much general storytelling going on. And here it goes. Oh, and it's in this mansion, and this is introducing themselves basically. There's Guido. You can see him nice, like I said, nice draftsmanship of this interior. There's Guido introducing himself to Lorna Dane, and Multiple Man. And they're all here having breakfast, and she's really nice, and she tosses him the Grey Poupon. He making himself a big old sandwich, and she makes him a significantly smaller sandwich. See here, it's very lovely draftsmanship here on these characters and their dialogue. But then they got the mayonnaise, and they can't get the mayonnaise open. Multiple Man, even when there's two of him, he can't get the mayonnaise open. Give it to Guido and Strong Guy, and he can't get it open. And this becomes a running gag throughout the issue. And then Lorna, again, some very, very lovely draftsmanship, very creative design work just done in her hair that is not exactly realistic. It has an amazingly long neck there. And while they're talking about the reforming of the X Factor team, they're expecting, and how they're expecting Havoc to get there, and she really, because Lorna is in love with Havoc, and she really wants him to come and take the job. Then we cut to and this whole thing is just basically introducing the characters. And on a construction site in Washington D.C., when Havoc, Alex Summers, Scott Summers, Cyclops, his brother, is Havoc. He is apparently an architect on the construction site here, and he is this lady from the Pentagon, from the government here, trying to recruit him. I wish she'd get that hair out of her face. That's distracting. When suddenly something happens, and an I-beam conveniently starts to fall towards Havoc and the young lady. Havoc reaches up, and he's going to deflect it with his powers when I can't remember her name. So pops up, and she knocks Havoc out of the way, leaving her name. I guess her name's Val. Rain, are you nuts? And then he gets the blonde lady stands right there while the beam is still falling. Boy, this is taking a lot of time for that beam to fall. And he reaches up and blasts the beam and takes care of that. And she still just stands right there, and but she was still in the blast radius and got all filthy and stuff. So says she's showing a measure of trust. Then elsewhere, it's Quicksilver, Pietro, popping in with the assistance of Lockjaw, and he has been spending time, most of his recent time, with the Inhumans, because he is married to Crystal of the Inhumans. I've forgotten the rest of her name. She used to be the love interest for Johnny Storm for quite a while back in the 60s. And Here is this a protest going on. Right where he's at, and he's zipping around trying to something about a bomb in this building, and everyone's getting out. So he rushes around, he finds the bomb and disarms it, and he's asking people how to find this location here, wherever the rest of the team were. Then we are again with Rain and Alex Summers. And the Lady Val, I guess, she's been cleaning up after that incident. Then when Cyclops and Professor X pop in, and there's a lot of talking going on here, and it's basically convincing Alex to take the post as leader of X Factor. But then at the Pietro gets to the destination where he was trying to get to, which is where the house with the new X Factor recruits. He walks in and collapses. Strong guy picks him up and takes him over to the couch right there, along with Lockjaw, and he begins to recover. And Multiple Man gets talking about Lockjaw. Says, "Can you? What's the deal?" And he's heard stories from Ben Grimm, the Thing, that Lockjaw can actually talk. It says, "No, he's a dog. He can't talk." And they're talking about trying to get that mayonnaise jar open. And then they come flying into this location with Summers and basically meeting the team, and Pietro is telling him the story that his powers, or the reason he was fainting, is because when he uses there's something wrong with him, as he's got a note or something that telling him that he was going to die from the use of his speed powers, and he's here to ask for help. And Lorna is ecstatic to see Alex. Alex is also happy to see her. And now they're still talking. "Can you get this mayonnaise jar open?" Havoc blasts it. Nothing. And gives it to the lady. Or he goes to blast it. Yeah. The Lady Val grabs it out of the air and twists it and gets the jar open, no problem. Meanwhile, in his one version of the Multiple Man is in his was it apartment or hotel room, whatever. It looks like a dumpy apartment, and he's laughing because he's got the original mayonnaise jar that no one could open because he had rigged it, so no one could open it. And then there's a knock at the door. He opens the door and blam, brap, 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 and he is blasted out, falling out the window, and this particular iteration of Multiple Man is dead, and it is to be continued. And this is just the teaser. The teaser for their first adventure. I don't know what happens because this is the only one I've got. But hey, I actually enjoyed reading this. I liked the through line of the mayonnaise jar gag. That's a nice little thing to tie the whole issue together. And it's interesting. I mean, I enjoyed it. Never a fan. It would not prompt me to go out and find more issues to read, but I might if I come across them cheaply. So that is what I have to share with you this time with X Factor number 71 from 1991. Oh, 50 years of Captain America. Okay, and thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think of X Factor, the Peter David iteration here, or the earlier iteration that had the original X-Men, which I don't know if I've ever read or not. Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, comics are art.